today's class. Beta, we are on chapter 10, that is respiration in organism. We have done two parts of this topic. We have discussed all about internal and external respiration. We have talked about aerobics and anaerobic respiration. I think it was clear to all of you that is aerobic is having the oxygen presence and anaerobic respiration where oxygen is absent. That all we have done. Now related to this, we are going to revise again the topic internal. It is in deep now. External respiration first. External respiration involves breathing, right? So what is breathing? When you inhale the air and exhale out oxygen is breathing. What happened? Normally we breathe from our nose, right? And sometimes with our mouth also. But once you just pluck out your nose for a second and even your mouth also, what will happen? You start feeling uneasy, but you can hold your breath for only few seconds. So this all about we are going to study how it works, what are the functions, what are the contents over there in this breathing topic. Okay, so external respiration, or you can write breathing. So whenever the question is asked, that write a short note on breathing, that you will mention these points. Okay, so breathing involves inhalation. Inhalation means taking air inside our mouth, inside our body, through our nostrils, even sometime with the mouth also. So inhalation is the taking air of oxygen, okay, into our body. Inhalation. Now what is exhalation? Means exhaling out the carbon dioxide. Yes, we are exhaling out CO2. So the giving out of air rich in carbon dioxide outside the body is called exhalation. Exhalation, right? So one more thing, this breathing is a continuous process, beta. It can't be stopped. It is a continuous process. So it goes throughout our life and throughout the time. Okay, let's talk about the breathing rate. First, we are very much aware that one inhalation will goes with one exhalation. That means one breath. Again I repeat, one inhalation goes with one exhalation means one breath. Okay. So 12 to 18 times a minute we breathe. In the normal condition, in a healthy person, 12 to 18 times a minute a person breathes. And when a person is doing heavy exercises or running or doing some extra work, so then it becomes 25 times per minute. Because in this case, lot of energy is required, lot of oxygen is required, so he and she is breathing very fastly. Okay, next was breathing rate. Breathing rate of a person is the slowest when he is sleeping, right? Because minimum energy is required when the body is sleeping. And when it is doing extra work, lot of energy is required, lot of breathings are involved in it. So this all about the breathing that you can write down, note it down in your notes notebook, right? So these points are important. Let's discuss about how we breathe and our respiratory system. So let's see the mechanism over here. Okay, what are the organs are involved in the mechanism? Let's discuss organs: nose, nostrils, nasal cavity, trachea, lungs, bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli. So this is the structure and we are going to do the mechanism through this structure. Now one nose has two holes. This one nose has two holes which are called nostrils. And there is a passage in the nose behind the nostril is called nasal cavity. That is called nasal cavity. Normally we take in air through our nostrils, and when we inhale air, it passes through the nostrils into the nasal cavity. You can see in the structure, as the air passes through this cavity, it becomes warm. It also gets moistened by the mucus secreted by this membrane. Now, dust and all the particles can be avoided by the hairs which are present in the nostrils. So they are present to avoid the dust to get entered in our body through this nostrils. So it is clear that we are taking air through our nose and it is going through our nostrils, and the hair are providing the dust not to enter in the body. Further, what will happen? Now, from the nasal cavity, the clean, moist and warm air passes through this trachea. The trachea word we are using, or we can say windpipe also. Or we can say windpipe also. And the trachea branches into two thinner tubes called bronchi. Okay, this is different. Bronchi. And its singular form is bronchis. Bronchis also we can say, which enters in the lungs. Okay. So you can see the structure. It is given very clearly. After entering the lungs, after entering this lungs, each bronchus divide to form a large number of small tubes called bronchioles. And these bronchioles have very tiny air sac at their end called alveoli. And singular form is alveolus. Each lung contains millions of alveoli. Okay. Now, the wall of alveoli is very thin and surrounded by thin blood capillaries. These are the capillaries which allow the blood vessels to pass through them. And this air from the trachea, even the air also is passing through it. The air from this trachea through the bronchi and bronchioles finally enters this alveoli, and the oxygen of the air diffuses out from this thin wall of this alveoli into the blood capillaries I told you. Okay, this all about where it is reaching to this alveoli. After this, what happens? Oxygen combines with the hemoglobin that is present in the blood, Hb, that is present in the blood, and it carried out all the cells of the body. And similarly, carbon dioxide produced by the breakdown of the foods. Finally, CO2 is produced out of the body during the breakdown of the food that we have done. Under the breakdown of the food, when the oxygen is involved and we are getting CO2, right? Same here. After this, CO2 is released from the body. Blood carries carbon dioxide to the alveoli in the lungs. Okay, and from the lungs, carbon dioxide is removed along with the air we breathe out. Okay, so in this way, the exchange of gases take places in alveolus. Okay, in alveolus. It's a singular form, remember it, of alveoli. Okay, this is the structure that you have to draw, and this is all the mechanism that we have read over here. So read this mechanism, try to understand the mechanism, draw the diagram, neat and clean diagram with proper labeling in your notebook, and we will discuss further in the next class further topic. Okay, till then, thank you, have a nice day.